Welcome to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you like this watch and would like to purchase it at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at JazzTime.com. Today, I will be reviewing the Vacheron Constantin Overseas Chronograph in stainless steel with a blue dial reference 5520V/210A/B148. I'll tell you a little bit about the history of the Overseas, then I'll tell you about where it stands in the lineup of other similar Overseas, then I'll tell you about the case bezel dial bracelet movement, finally try it on and give you my thoughts. So let's start with just a little brief overview. Now the Vacheron Overseas is Vacheron's premier sports collection. Now, Vacheron makes many different collections. They make dress watches, ladies' watches, just many different kind of watches, in-between watches, and they also make sports watches. And this is they make several different sports watches, actually, but this is their most famous one and their most desirable one, actually. And in fact, if you kind of compare it to Audemars Piguet or Patek Philippe has the Nautilus, and AP Audemars Piguet has the Royal Oak. The Overseas is what is Vacheron's version of their sports steel, their sports watch. So with that said, when was it created? Well, you might think since the Nautilus and the Royal Oak were created in 1972 that it was also created in 1972, but in fact it was created in 1996, right around the time that the offshore, Audemars Piguet offshore, as well as the Patek Philippe Aquanaut came out. And so it's a relatively new thing for Vacheron. Okay, well, that's a little bit about the history. All right, and it was not designed by the same Gerald Genta designer, although it looks similar, but it's not. It's their version of it. So, all right, now let's move into a little bit about where this watch stands in the lineup of other similar Overseas. You can kind of break down the Overseas by complication. The first is just time and date. The next is chronograph, which is what you're looking at here. Then they have a dual time. They have a tourbillon, they have an open work tourbillon, an annual calendar, and so on and so forth. So they got a lot of cool variations to the Overseas. And what we'll be focusing on today is the stainless steel chronograph. Okay, so let's start talking about the case. The case is 42.5 millimeters, and there actually was a new version. This is the new version, the 5520V. The previous generation, I think they stopped it in 2023 or 24, and the new version is what you see now with the 5520. I think the old version was 5500. This is 5520, and the case is more or less the same. It looks the same, but it's actually a little bit thinner on the new case than the previous generation. That's one very small difference. So yeah, well, thinness is a kind of a big deal. It's 12.6 millimeters. I think the other one was just a hair bigger, close to 13, but I don't think it was over 13, like 12.9 or something. But it was very close, and it keeps the same diameter. And what I can point out a few things about this nice case is that it has a very unique case in that it integrates the case into the bracelet, and it has a very wide beveled edge, and it has a very nice satin finish. Okay, let's go ahead and move on from the case, and let's look at the bezel. Now, the bezel is also quite interesting because it's not a Royal Oak, it's not a Nautilus, but they took the cues from the Maltese cross of their emblem and put it on their bezel. So actually, I have to say, it's a really unique and cool way to display the bezel, to still make it have Vacheron cues, but at the same time, give it a look that it has an integrated bracelet look into it. And it's getting more and more popular. In fact, the leader of all watches, Rolex, has even made their own integrated bracelet watch, which is the Land Dweller. Okay, so let's move on here from the bezel. The bezel is also high polished on the top and satin finish behind it. And that is unchanged from the previous generation as well. Let's look at the dial. Now the dial here is in just regular blue. Actually, Vacheron makes one of the best blues on the market. Now you might just think all blues are the same, they're just blue. Well, not really. You know, Vacheron does just a really nice job of doing this blue. They call it's a translucent lacquered blue. Translucent because it has a bit of glow to it, and lacquered just means that they paint it on. Okay, all right. Now they also make this in several different variations. They make it in green, they make it in gold, that is. They make a white dial and a black dial. The white dial is like a white with black subdials, and the black is black with white subdials. So they kind of make the reverse. And of course, they make the blue that you're looking at. So there's not a lot of different variations, but this is the blue one is probably the most special and most interesting, and is the one that commands the most above retail. Okay, with that said, let's move on here to the bracelet. Now the bracelet is one of the main things that have changed between this generation and the previous generation 5500V. This one's a 5520V. The bracelet is thinner. Now what do I mean by that? Now look at the taper. Let's be specific. The taper, when it goes from the lug to the buckle, it used to be like 22 or 24 millimeters or something like that at the buckle, which is really large. Now it tapers down to, I think, 22 or 20, something like that, but it tapers down 2 millimeters thinner at the buckle than before. And why is that significant? Well, because if on the previous generation, the buckle, when it went from the lug to the buckle, it was so thick, it would look like a big chunk of just watch on your wrist. Now they've slimmed it down and brought it, just made it look much more streamlined. Now, one of the cool things about the bracelet is that Vacheron, who has been doing these bracelets for quite some time, they've actually figured out how to make them interchangeable before any other brand. Audemars Piguet has just figured it out, like, I want to say 1-2 years ago, in maybe 23 or 22. But Vacheron has been doing this for quite some time. In fact, not only do they allow you to change the bracelet, they even give you other bracelets to use, and in fact, they give you a rubber bracelet and a leather bracelet and a steel bracelet. So I can't think of any other brand that is giving you 3 different bracelets. AP supplies bracelets with some of their watches, but they usually only give one other bracelet, like a metal bracelet and a rubber bracelet, or a metal and a leather. But Vacheron gives you all 3, so that's pretty cool. You can change the look of your watch with just a very simple maneuver, with no tools, in fact. Okay, so let's see here. What should we say next? Let's look at the movement here. Now the movement is more or less the same, but one of the small differences is that the rotor is slightly different. It's not so readily apparent unless you actually have the old one in front of you, but you can see that it's, I think instead of having a cutout rotor, like the rotor being cut out in certain parts, it's filled in. I'm not really sure that makes much of a difference, but it is a minor difference. On this one, you see how the entire rotor is filled in with gold and it has sandblasted. On the previous generation, it had a little bit of a cutout. Like I said, doesn't really matter all that much, but it is something. And just look at the movement. You see a nice column wheel, which allows the watch not to skip, and it has a beautiful finish, as all Vacherons do, and it's an updated movement, and it looks really, really nice. Okay, so what else should we say about this? Oh, the caliber. The caliber is a 5200, and they've figured out how to keep the power reserve at 52 hours, which is not the highest, but it's still a good amount. Yeah, okay, good enough for the caliber. Now, time to try this watch on my wrist. Now, I'm 200 pounds, 6 foot tall, and I have a 7.5 inch wrist. And so what you see from here, when I try this on, it's just a beautiful watch. It checks all the marks, and it doesn't look too big, too small. I think it's just a perfect size for a sports watch. So, and Now look, let's put it this way. This watch is retailing for $37,100 on Vacheron's website as of 2025. Well, that's quite a bit of money. Now we're selling it for actually pretty much the same price as retail, and that's quite a value proposition considering that you cannot get this watch at the authorized dealer. It's basically impossible. So if you want to get it, you got to go to jazztime.com and you can get it. So it's a steel watch, a sports watch from a major brand, very durable. You can wear it all day long, or you can wear it in luxurious settings or casual settings. It's just a great watch and from a top brand. So I'm definitely going to give it 2 thumbs up. And if you'd like to purchase this watch at the lowest price anywhere online, please click on the link in the description below to buy it at jazztime.com.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.